Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Oblong Polka Dots and my name is Kerr, and on this channel we talk about makeup, skincare, and beauty. So if that's something you're into, you've come to the right place. Today I want to try out a new palette I have not tried before, new to me I should say, and it's from a company called September Rose Cosmetics, and the palette is called Brew. That's what that looks like, and it's got 16 shadows. Sliding it out. Let's see, we'll take a look. It does come with a mirror, and as you can imagine, it's a relatively neutral palette. I think it's showing up on camera okay. There we go, that's better. So, I don't know, we'll see. This is my first time using a September Rose palette. I have another one somewhere and I'll do a different video on that one, but today we're going to use this one. So because I'm not really familiar with her formula, I think I'm just going to try and stick with what I think would be tried and true and just go for like a relatively neutral look. So I'm going to pick pure, ginger, and cold brew. Those three right there. So these three right here. And I always do the gradient look, so, well, not always, but most times I do it. So I'm going to go from the darkest on the outside to the lightest on the inside, and then I'll cover in between those two on my mobile lid with cold brew with that sparkly shade. So let's get into it. I'm going to start off by priming my face, as I always do, and the primer I'm using is the Fenty Pro Filter Instant Touch. Yeah, Pro Filter Instant Touch Retouch, or Instant Retouch Primer. Wow, I can read. When I first started using this primer, I'd put it down for a while because I really didn't like the way it made my skin feel. But over time, I think my skin has changed. And my skin's prepped too. It's clean, moisturized, treated. But over time, I feel like I've really learned to enjoy this primer. So there you go. And for the Sephora spring sale that's going on right now, I actually purchased another bottle of it, so I'll have a backup. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow primer. If you guys don't have this primer, run, don't walk. Go grab it from Ulta. It's so inexpensive. It's like less than $4 and it works really, really well. Just a warning though, when you first put it on, it does feel oily, but that's temporary. It will dry down and become tacky, and it will hold on to any shadow that you put on your lid. This stuff is really good. And then just before I came on camera, I was fiddling around with one of my foundations that I haven't used in a while because I was trying to see if the color was good for me at this point, but it's not quite yet because we're not into like sunny weather. But it's the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I love this stuff. It's beautiful, but right now it's just a little bit dark for this time of year. Anyways, I went to squirt the bottle and I like squirt foundation everywhere because the stopper had like, you know, I hadn't used it for a long time, so it was like caked in there. So I was cleaning all that up before I came on camera. Hot mess, I know. All right, so let's grab a flat brush. Here we go. We're going to use this one. And we're going to start with that color Ginger. So we're going to start with this one right here. And let's see what it do. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to pack the color because it's how I normally put it on. But I can tell you, I didn't necessarily expect it to look like this based on what's in the pan. I thought it would be a little bit more browny than orangey. So, okay, that's fine. We can work with that. All right. So far, so good. I don't see any fallout. And it's picking up from the pan nicely. So yeah, let's do this eye. Okay. And this is nice. It's very, it feels quite smooth. Feels like a very smooth formula. So when I dip the brush in the pan, there's not a lot of hesitation. The powder just comes right up with the brush. You know how sometimes there's like an overspray for shadows and you have to kind of dig in there to get past that first layer? This isn't like that at all, and it does feel nice. And you can see it's packing on nicely. So, yeah. And I'm still looking and I'm not seeing any fallout. I think we're all right. Smooth that out a little bit. Okay, what do you think? It's a very peachy, orangey shade on my lid, but I like it. I think it goes nicely. So for the outside, the outer corner, I'm actually going to use the same brush. I don't need to use a smaller brush, and I'm just going to flip it over and pick up the powder on this side. So I'm using that pure, that darker shade. Feels the same as ginger, and I'm just going to pat this on and see what happens. So even though the shade looks really deep in the pan, it's not coming out really deep on my lid. As a matter of fact, it looks like it has brown, but with a purple undertone. Can you see that? This one does have a little bit of fallout though, compared to the other one. Yeah, so this one looks brown in the pan, but definitely has some kind of like warmth to it, some kind of purple sort of aubergine undertone. What do you think? I think they blend well together. I also think that I'm a little surprised this one has fallout and the other one didn't. I thought it'd be the other way around. It seems like the lighter a color gets, the more fallout it is, no matter how well it's formulated. There's some exceptions to the rule, obviously. So I would say like Lorac is not like that. It's smooth and buttery for all shades. And Natasha Denona too. Her stuff is pretty smooth and buttery. Okay. I like it. It's just very plain. So I'm gonna now, you know what, let's pop another primer on the lid and I'll grab a different brush this time. So I'm gonna grab the NYX Glitter Primer, this one. I'm gonna throw that on the lid and see if we can get this cold brew color to look really nice. I'm gonna grab, I need a brush. Actually, I guess I can take the same brush that I was using before. And I'm going to take the primer and actually stick that on the brush. Can you see that? You really don't need a lot, and that's probably more than I need. And I'm going to just pat that on the center of my lid so that I can pick up the color from there. This stuff is really good too. It's also incredibly sticky. So it really is a glitter primer. Like when you put this on, whatever you throw on top of it, it's going to stay. It will stay. Okay, let's grab a different brush. And how about this one? Just another flat brush. I'm going to take that color Cold Brew and put that on top. So immediately putting my brush into Cold Brew, it picks up plenty of shadow, but also looks like there's some kind of overspray. So we'll find out. It's just something to be mindful of. It's very coppery. I thought this would be a little more pink. This is fine though. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I just thought it would be a little bit pinker. And again, I'm just patting. I'm not actually blending anything in. I'm just throwing it right on top of ginger. Same thing with this side, just throwing it right on top between the two colors. I feel like I just did this look the other day with the MAC palette that I've been picking up and can't put down. Very similar. So this one, I do feel like it has some fallout because I can feel it on my face, but it's not significant. It's nothing that isn't within reason, especially for a glitter. I think this is a pressed glitter. Okay. What do you think? Well, let's see. Let's finish this up. We'll finish cleaning this up a little bit and then maybe get some swatches going so we can look at some of these other shadows. So this is what it looks like before I do anything else to my face. You can see here that there's definitely some fallout from that cold brew shadow, but otherwise the other two are okay. Let me finish my look and I'll come back and we'll do some swatches and talk about the palette. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So I threw on some face. I even threw on some lashes this time. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this palette because I want to sit here and swatch it with you. So I have a little rag and I have some of the Clinique Take the Day Off. And let's get to swatching and see what it actually looks like. So, let's see. This is a 16 pan palette, so I think what we'll do is just kind of swatch from, how about we swatch from top to bottom? So we'll start with the top, and it is, the first color is called Milk Tea. You already saw Cold Brew. Then we have Red Velvet and Iced Tea. And that's what those look like. And let's do them. Why do I always have so much trouble swatching, you guys? We'll just do it like this. Okay, and that's what those look like. Is it in frame? I'm sorry. That's what those look like. Those are the four with Milk Tea, Cold Brew, Red Velvet, and Iced Tea. And then the next ones we'll do are, let's wipe these off. I only have 5 fingers, you guys. So the next ones will be, so they're all named after some kind of tea, it seems. So the next one is going to be Rooibos, Ginger, which you've already seen on my lid, Tea Latte, and then Spice Chai. And that's what those look like. And I'll swatch those as well. And that's those 4 right here. You guys, why am I so terrible at swatches? All right, and then let's do the next 4. I might have to grab some of this Take the Day Off really quick. See what these look like. Okay, so the next 4 are going to be French Vanilla, Pure, Pumpkin Spice, and Sweet Tea. So, and that's what those look like. And I'll swatch them here. Scoot them over a little bit so you can see them. Okay. You guys. Such a dork. Here, that's what those look like. And then for these last 4, give me a second to wipe my hands off. Do you see why I like seldom do swatches in my videos? I just am such a train wreck. It's so awkward. I don't know why I'm so awkward with these. So far though, I think I've only had fallout from that one when I was putting the brush in there. So these last 4 are called Classical Chai, Almond, Cinnamon, and Loose Leaf. And that's these 4 classical chais right here. And this time I'm going to do it in the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go. So those are all the swatches on my arm. These feel like lighter. There's a lighter formula. It's not creamy or anything like that. So don't think Lorac. Think Morphe, like that kind of texture. Overall, they all swatch beautifully from what I can tell on my arm anyways. And even the 2 shades that have the pressed glitter, this one and this one, Cold Brew and Iced Tea, they're also really nice. Yeah, this is a really beautiful palette, you guys. Let me hold it up again so you can see it now that I've torn it up. And I think this would probably work for a multitude of skin tones. I also think a lot of these colors can be used just by themselves, so you could just do a monochromatic look. And overall, the formula is nice. It's not the nicest, but it's a nice formula. I think it's comparable to Morphe. So if you like that type, then you probably would like this. I'm really glad that I made this purchase though, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Black-owned European brand. So I'm really happy to support my sisters across the pond. And I do have another September Rose palette that I'm going to show here on this channel. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.